Welcome to Hunting God's Country. I'm Jason, and I appreciate you being here. Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people may remember. If you're my age or older, you definitely remember. If you're 50 plus, if you're not, then just a little history here on deer licenses in Michigan, how we've gotten to where we are today, and then maybe at the end a little bit of opportunity for some thoughts and ideas, and or all the comments that you guys want to give back, because there can be some controversy over some things here, especially the way the license structure is in Michigan and the cost, etc. So what I want to do is I want to take you back to my youth when I started hunting, the way licenses were, how it worked, what it became, how we've gotten to where we are today in 2024. And to start with, there are those, anyone 50 plus is going to remember this, but back in the 80s and prior to the 80s, the DNR gave us an opportunity to fill out an application. Now, mind you, this is pre-internet, all of that, right? So we had to fill out an application on paper, mail it in, and then wait patiently for mail to be returned to us at our home. And what that was is that was an application for what they called a hunter's choice permit. So if you got that hunter's choice permit, what that gave you was an opportunity to choose to fill your one deer license that you got to purchase. Every year you could buy one license, and it was to shoot a buck. That's the only license that was available. You could kill one buck. That was deer hunting in Michigan. And if you got the hunter's choice permit, if you were approved and successful at getting that, then that gave you an opportunity to use your buck license to tag a doe. So what that equated to was most everyone who hunted, if they got the hunter's choice permit, we would hunt until the last day or two of season, right? Or at least until Thanksgiving. And then the last couple of days of the season, you could shoot anything and fill your tag, right? So that's kind of where, for me, it came up with the old saying, if it's brown, it's down. Like, it's crunch time. I've got 2 days left. The season's almost over. I got to go to work tomorrow. Today's my last day, whatever the situation was for the individual. If you have the hunter's choice permit, now if I see a deer, I'm shooting it. I'm going to fill the freezer. I spent the time to go hunting. I bought the license. I bought the ammunition for my gun. I am going to kill a deer. And that was the opportunity that we had. We still got to kill one deer, but we had the opportunity of a hunter's choice, if we were successful in the drawing, that if we didn't shoot a buck, we could actually shoot a doe. And they were okay with that, right? So hunting all the way up through into the late 80s in Michigan was one license for one buck, and a doe permit. If you were lucky enough to be successful in the drawing, you could get a hunter's choice. You could still shoot a doe and fill that tag with a doe, but you had to additionally attach your hunter's choice permit along with your other back tag. Now, we also had to wear the tag on our back. When we bought a license to go hunting, we had to wear that tag on our back, and as soon as we got a deer and tagged that deer, we're no longer legal to be hunting, right? So one deer dead, you're done. Hang it up, season's over. Whether you shot that deer on October 1st with your bow or November 30th with your gun, as soon as you killed your deer, your one deer, your season was over. So I believe it was 1988. In 1988, my father and I both applied for our hunter's choice permits, and we anxiously awaited the mail, waiting to find out if we were successful or not. And what we got in the mail was this thing called a bonus permit. We got a letter back from the DNR, said, hey, thank you for applying. Your permit submission has been successful. What we are giving you here is a bonus permit. So now, in addition to the license you already purchased to shoot a buck, for the $5 application fee you paid for your hunter's choice, we're going to create this as a bonus permit, and now you can also shoot a doe. Wow, that's pretty cool. I can shoot 2 deer now. So freezers can get fuller. Now we can shoot a buck and a doe. Well, that continued through 1989. In 1989, I shot my first buck, but I also had a bonus permit because I was successful again, got the bonus tag, so now I could shoot a buck and a doe, which I did. I shot a doe to go along with that. So I shot 2 deer in 1989. First time ever. You had been, well, second time. I believe 1988 was the first year of the bonus permit. And then in 1989, had 2 licenses. So I got to shoot a buck and a doe. Well, then in 1990, they introduced another thing, which was a second buck permit. Hey, if you kill a buck, once you kill the first one, you can go back to the license seller and purchase a second buck license. Wow, now we get to shoot 2 bucks and a doe. Well, that's pretty cool. So the deer population was growing and expanding in Michigan. Car deer accidents were increasing every year, and they were trying to take some action on how are we going to reduce the herd numbers and how are we going to take care of more of these deer. So when I started hunting, like I said, you could kill 1 deer. Then all of a sudden, bonus permit, you can kill 2 deer. Then all of a sudden, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to shoot a second buck after you shoot your first one. So now you can shoot a buck, you can buy a second buck tag if you kill the first one, and you've got a bonus doe permit. Well then, the following year, which I believe it was either 1990 or 1991, this is not exact, this is just my guesstimate from my history, but they made it available to go purchase a doe permit over the counter separately for $5. So now you could buy your buck tag and you could spend $5 instead of having to apply for a hunter's choice permit. If you wanted to shoot a doe, you could actually buy an antlerless deer license over the counter for $5. Cool. Great for us. We can put more deer in the freezer. We have more opportunity to hunt. If I go out and shoot a buck on opening day, my season's not over. I can still hunt for a doe, or I can go buy a second buck license. Now that I filled my first one, I can go buy a second buck license and shoot a second buck. So now I can shoot 3 deer. Incredible, right? This is the changes. This is how things have gone in that period of time. So over the course of 3 or 4 years, we went from shooting 1 deer to shooting 3 deer. I thought it was exciting. I was young. I loved to hunt. I just wanted to be out there, and this gave me the ability to be out there because if I filled 1 tag, my season wasn't over. I could still go hunt. Well, then I believe it was around 1994, they said, okay, now you can buy these doe permits, these antlerless deer licenses over the counter, but we're going to give you a limit. You can only buy 5 of them. Well, prior to that, we could only buy 1. Now all of a sudden, hey, you can buy 5. You can buy up to 5. You can buy 1 per day until the quota for your area is sold. Okay, so people would do that. People went out and bought 5 doe permits. And some people actually went out and shot 5 does and 2 bucks. So now we went from shooting 1 deer to shooting 3 deer to shooting 7 deer in a single season. Well, then a few years later, I believe it was around 1998, they raised the limit one more time and said, hey, we need more does killed. We're going to raise the limit to 10. You can buy 10 extra antlerless deer licenses to go along with your 2 buck licenses. Oh, and by the way, we're going to turn this into what do they call it now? Combo license. You can just go ahead and buy your 2 buck tags right up front because, why not? We can use the money anyway. Buy 2 buck licenses, which at the time were $10 a piece, not whatever they are now, $20 a piece, right? They were $10 a piece. You buy 2 buck licenses, you can buy up to 10 doe permits, 1 per day until the quota is filled for that area. At that point, the doe permits were by deer management unit, which are counties. So in Michigan, there's, 84 counties, I believe. So it was, you could buy up to 10 for a county. Natural Resources Commission said, hey, maybe this was not right. Maybe there's too many deer being killed in a deer management unit if we allow each hunter to buy 10 of these permits. So we're going to change it again. We're going to still let them buy 10, but we're going to make it 5 per DMU. So depending on if you had different places to hunt, you could get 5 licenses in this county and 5 licenses in this county. However you wanted to break that up. The average person did not need to have 10 deer in the freezer. 2 or 3 deer is typically pretty good for a year for most people, for most families. Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 if you have a large family. I can tell you there were some years when I shot 3 or 4 deer for the season, but I also was married with 4 children and we had a lot of mouths to feed, and we use venison for everything, right? We had all of our food was made from venison. Lasagna, spaghetti, chili, our hamburgers, every single thing that we ate was made out of venison. So to feed 6 people, 3 or 4 deer is essential and great for you. Anyway, back to the hunting thing. So as time went on, the Natural Resources Commission, collaborating with the DNR and changing the rules, it seems like every year something's new and different. And you guys who've been hunting for the last 20 years or even the last 10 years have seen a lot of different changes in that. The other thing that's changed is as the years have gone by, the license prices have gone up. I still don't feel like it's crazy too expensive. $20 a piece for the license. If you get a combo license and a doe permit, you can shoot 3 deer, 2 bucks and a doe. That's $60 plus $11 for your base license, which with that base license, it also gives you the opportunity to shoot squirrels, rabbits, pheasant, coyote, all the other small game animals and all that. That's all included in that base license for $11. So I personally don't feel like the price is crazy, but I have heard a lot of people, and I've had a lot of comments on other videos where folks are frustrated with the cost of a license. Well, I've been there. I've taken back pop cans in order to get enough money to buy a license before. I know what that's like. I'm not dismissing it and saying that $20 is not a lot of money. I'm just saying in comparison to a lot of other states and for the overall opportunity to be able to go out and hunt, it's not crazy. But over the years, these license fees have all increased. Now, where are we today? It seems like they want us to shoot as many does as possible. And I understand some of the science behind that. I understand what the biologists are getting at. Yes, if you shoot a buck, maybe that buck can breed several does, and you kill a buck, you still have 10 does that are pregnant, and they're going to have twins maybe in the spring. Come May or June, there's going to be 20 more new deer, right? If you shoot a doe, then that doe is not going to have babies in the spring, so you've actually killed 2 or 3 deer by shooting that one doe. And in order to decrease deer numbers, that's great. However, in a lot of areas like where we are, I've only seen about 10 deer total while hunting this year. So I'm hesitant to shoot a doe right now because I want to make sure that I can get the numbers up. I want those does to have buck fawns. The younger does will have buck fawns more often. And I want them to get bred and be able to have more deer so I have a better herd and better opportunities for hunting in my area. There have been a lot of changes over the years. For me, it's been a really interesting transition from when I started hunting. You had to be 12 years old to hunt archery. You had to be 14 years old to hunt with a gun. Now, as long as your parents think you're old enough to hunt, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you can start hunting. In fact, I believe 10 years, I believe the newest rule is 10 years. At 10, you can start hunting. You can buy a license, you can go out and bow hunt. And all of these things have changed for me over the years and with my kids growing up. Now, I've obviously taught my kids to hunt. My kids started hunting when they were 10, 11, 12 years old. Cal shot his first deer when he was 11, and I thought it was super exciting. I'm more excited to go take other people out and have them shoot deer. I've shot plenty over my years. I'm not sure why I said plenty twice, but plenty. I put 5 bucks in the Michigan record book, and none of them, one of them, I was specifically hunting for that deer or his father, and I ended up shooting a 161-inch buck here in Michigan with my bow, which was an incredible, awesome year. But I am not opposed to shooting any legal buck that I see. In my area, they have to have 3 points on one side to be legal. And if I see a buck that is of a nature that I want to shoot that's got 3 points on one side, I'm probably going to shoot it. And I would like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Please leave me your comments and let me know what you think about the changes in hunting seasons over the years and how the hunting licenses have changed here in the great state of Michigan. I still love hunting Michigan. I appreciate that the DNR has given us more opportunities to hunt, more time in the field, more time with our friends and family, more time at deer camp, all of the camaraderie and everything that surrounds hunting is really the best part of what we have every fall here in Michigan. And everyone can hunt the way they want to hunt. I just want to clear the air with that. I don't care how you hunt. I don't care if you sit in a box blind. I don't care if you sit in a tree stand. I don't care if you use a saddle. I don't care if you want to spot and stalk. You want to wait for snow and track them in the snow and run them down. All of those methods are fantastic. I want you to hunt the way that you like to hunt, based on the weather, based on your physical fitness, based on your availability of time. Because you know what the best time is to go deer hunting? Anytime that you can get out. Whether it's the middle of the day, whether it's the middle of the week, whether it's the weekend only, whether it's only in the mornings, only at night, it doesn't matter. When you can get out and hunt, you get out and hunt. Enjoy the time. Do it your way. Do it fun. Do it safe. And enjoy deer hunting in Michigan's great outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation of the deer license changes over the years. For me, it's exciting that I went from when I was a youth only being able to shoot one deer to now basically I can shoot as many deer as I intend to. For me, that's maybe 2 or 3 a year. We just want to get enough to keep the freezer full until the next deer season. So thanks again for joining us. I love and appreciate you all. Make sure you check back tomorrow for our next new video. New video every day at 3 p.m. And make sure you stick around and follow us all the way to the Christmas special. So if you like this video, please like it. Any comments you have on this, please throw the comments down there. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Let me know if there's any other video ideas you have for us. Definitely love talking deer, love talking deer hunting. And anything that you put in there, I will respond to. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us along. New video every day at 3 p.m. all the way through until Christmas. And once again, as always, shoot straight and keep the fire going.